Good morning. So this morning, Lily and I are going to the tax collector's office to get my driver's license and to transfer my vehicle over to Florida, to transfer the title, the registration, and to get her state ID. That's something new to me. Normally, I mean, I'm originally from New York and I've lived in Pennsylvania for the past 20 years. And we did that at the DMV. Here it's at the tax collector's office. I don't know if that's all over Florida or if just where I am. Also, another thing that's different is that we need to make an appointment to have this done. Again, not something that I've had to do before. Usually I've just been able to walk in. So let me know if you're from Florida. Is this something, as far as it being at the tax collector's office and as far as needing an appointment, is that something throughout all of Florida, or is that just something in certain areas? I know in some areas where appointments are required, some appointments are as far out as several months. Fortunately, our appointment was only a few days out, so we're taking care of that this morning, and I'll let you know how that goes and what the costs are. I would imagine that transferring my vehicle over is going to cost me several $100s, so we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. Hello, so it's several hours later. It's actually in the evening now, and we went this morning for me to transfer my Pennsylvania license to my Florida license, and to transfer my vehicle to Florida, and also to transfer my daughter's Pennsylvania state ID to her Florida state ID. And thankfully we were able to accomplish all of that. It's quite an operation they have going on over there. The place is big. I did get one of my questions answered, and that was, do they do this throughout Florida at the tax collector's office? And the answer is yes. The person who was taking care of me when we went outside to verify the VIN of my car, I asked her about it, and she said yes, they do that, and they do the tax collecting there, they do the DMV stuff there, they do all sorts of things at that office. It's a pretty large office, and you do not necessarily have to have an appointment, but I think it's very advisable because it's large. There were a lot of people there. So when you go in, there's a sign that says if you have an appointment, you don't need to check in, you could just sit down. So obviously you don't necessarily have to have an appointment, so then at that point you would go to a window and check in. So we sat down, and they have monitors that have the appointment times that are coming up, and it goes by the last four digits of your last four digits of your phone number. So when you make an appointment online, one of the things that you have to enter is your phone number. So they'll show at the top, they'll show who's being served at what window, which phone numbers are being served at what window, and then they'll show the appointments that are coming up. And when you make it to that list where you're coming up, you'll actually get a text message on your phone saying, you know, make sure that you're in the lobby, your appointment's coming up. So it's pretty efficient, actually. We were there, we probably waited maybe about half an hour. Well, we got there early, so we got there before our appointment, so I can't even really go by that, because we probably waited about half an hour, 45 minutes, but we definitely were seen after our appointment times. So I had a 10:40 appointment, Lily had a 10:50 appointment, and I was hoping that the person who saw me would be able to do both of our things together, and that was not the case. So while she was taking care of me, Lily's appointment got called to a different window, so she was pretty much going back and forth getting documents, because I had all her documents. So she took whatever she could, and then she had to come back for other documents, because the person taking care of me was using some of the documents, like to verify address, things like that. So she was able to take her birth certificate and social security card. But we were in, and then the woman who took care of her just brought back her receipt to the person who was taking care of me, and then I just paid for everything at once. So I had to have either my birth certificate or passport. So I used my passport for proof of my name and who I am, my social security card, and two proofs of address. And then for Lily, I used her birth certificate, her social security card, and also the same proof of address. So for the proof of address, because I'm staying in a hotel, I used the hotel gave me a confirmation of my, because we're going to be here for several months where we are. So they gave me a confirmation of what my reservation, how long my reservation is. So I used that, and then I had already transferred my car insurance over to Florida, because you need to have your car insurance transferred over to Florida in order to transfer over the car to Florida. So I was able to use the address on my car insurance declaration page, and also I had to give them the ID cards as well. So they needed the declaration page and the ID cards for the car to transfer that over, and so we had everything that we needed. I was surprised that I didn't need to fill out a form. Like in Pennsylvania, when you had to fill out a form for most things. Like, so I would have been able to, because I was looking on the website, is there a form that I need to fill out to accompany my documents, and I couldn't find anything, and sure enough, there wasn't any form that I needed to fill out, so that was fine. So I will tell you what my costs were on this. So for Lily, to get her state ID, it was $31.25. To transfer my license was $54.25, and to transfer my car tags and title was $377.35. So the total for the two of us and the car was $462.85, and they take check or cards. But if you use like a credit card, then there's like a 2% or something fee. And I was not about to do that, so I paid by check, and that's it. So the title will be mailed to me, in like 2 to 4 weeks, so that's fine. So, but I did get my tag, and so I went to I bought a little very basic toolkit that I have. I brought it with me to make sure, because I was basically keeping that in the room in case I needed it for anything. So I made sure that I brought it with me, and man, I had a time trying to get my Pennsylvania plate off the car, because the bolt was like, one of them was rusted, and it was tight, and it was hot outside, obviously. So I had quite a time trying to get the one off, and then the other one was a little bit easier, but at one point that one got stuck. It took me probably a good 15-20 minutes to get the tag off. Finally, I got it. I had to use in this little toolkit. I had a wrench that I had one of those ones that twist, that adjusts, an adjustable wrench. So I had to use that to get the bolt off, but it took a while. Finally got it off, and then put the new plate back on, and that was fine. And then we came back to the room, and I packed up the Pennsylvania plate, and to send back to Pennsylvania, to Harrisburg. Packed that up. That I had to include with a copy of my new registration, so I did that, and canceled my car insurance. Now I hadn't canceled my car insurance yet, because I wanted to make sure that all of this was taken care of before I called them to cancel the car insurance. So I hadn't even canceled my homeowner's insurance yet, because it's like a group policy, so I didn't want to mess with that at all. So when I came back and I had everything officially in Florida, I came back and I canceled my policy, backdated to, what was that, retroactive? Retroactively back to the dates that it should have been, so that was taken care of. And then I transferred over my E-ZPass. So E-ZPass can be used in Florida. So now that I have my Florida plate, and so I went on my E-ZPass account, and I transferred, I changed my address, I changed the plate, so that would be squared away, because there are a lot of toll roads in Florida. So I definitely plan to expect to be using my E-ZPass a lot more than I ever did in Pennsylvania. So then once I did that, then I went to the post office, and I mailed the tags back to Pennsylvania, and checked my P.O. box. I did get a P.O. box that I'm planning to keep, even once I'm in my permanent place. And and then I went and did some grocery shopping and came back, and here I am. So yeah, thankfully that worked out fine. That worked out well, and that's about it. Thanks.